Okay, first off, congratulations to Florida State. For our kids, to beat the #1 team in the country is a very difficult task. I really believed that we could beat this team, and we didn't get that done today. I saw some good things that were encouraging, but we need to do a good job understanding just how important it is that when we have opportunities that we have to make them. We had a couple dropped interceptions today, and I always tell the kids interceptions can change games, and pass breakups give the opponent another opportunity, and that's what happened on a couple of those today. So we have to learn how to finish those opportunities. I thought that there was some good growth. I was very pleased with my offensive staff and the way they worked together to come up with a very good game plan against one of the best teams in the country, obviously #1 right now. And I was extremely pleased with the way they worked at it, the way the kids went about the approach together. Unselfishly, together as a team, as a unit. And there were some very encouraging things out there. So we look forward to taking the encouraging traits from this game into this Wake Forest game. Understanding we have a tall task in front of us with a very good defense at Wake and an excellent offensive mind with Coach Clausen. Let's just move ahead with any questions.
Coach, how you doing today?
Good, Dan.
A.J. Long, obviously, what you took away from him and his progression and what he did out there. You talked about some good things you saw on offense.
Yeah, I thought both Austin and A.J. both, I thought did some good things for the first extended playing time. A.J. was just the way I thought he would be. He really loves to play the game. He's really fun to be around out there. There's never a sense that he's, tightening up or anything. So I was really encouraged by the way he played. Did he make mistakes? Yes. But all in all, opportunity to be baptized by fire against #1 in the country. I thought the kid did a pretty damn good job. Mike?
Do you have an update on Austin Wilson and then also talk about Steve Ishmael?
Yeah. Don't have an update on Austin other than I can tell you just sat with him for a couple minutes and sat with his mom and dad there, and they're going to take him over and make sure we check him out really well to see how things are later. Obviously, he's got a pretty good headache. Took a lick. You guys saw it. Hearts, prayers out to him. He'll be okay. He'll bounce back. He's a tough kid from Pennsylvania. First time I ever met him, he had a big old black eye from scrap he got into on the basketball court. So he'll be all right. He'll be okay. But thanks for asking. Steve Ishmael made some good plays. Starting to see some things out of him that we saw out of him, when we were in the recruiting process. I remember when Coach McDonald came to me and told me about him. I was really excited. Then we turned on the tape, and some of those things that we saw on tape, we're starting to see every week. He's starting to play with more confidence. He's starting to learn how to get off press coverage, which isn't easy when you move up to this level. So I've been very pleased with him. Very pleased with a lot of these freshmen that are helping out the old guys. The other thing I was extremely impressed with was the way our older kids took these young quarterbacks under their wing and just said, go play. I was really proud of that, the way those kids, it's one thing to talk about it, but to see it happen throughout the course of the game when something didn't go well, and to see those big guys put their arm around them and encourage them to come up. So that was good. We got a good group of kids, and now we just got to go get that victory at Wake Forest.
Yeah, Coach, you were 0-4 scoring TDs in the red zone today, 9 of 23 in the season. What is it about your offense that doesn't work in the red zone?
Same thing I told you last time. We haven't gotten the ball over the goal line enough.
No specifics on that?
No, I got a ton of them. We're going to try to catch the ball better when the ball hits us in the hands. Got to put the ball out in front of us in the flat when those things happen. It's finishing the execution. You can go down to each and every one of those plays when you go through it, whether it's a run or a pass play, and say, this wasn't good enough. You can't do that. It's not any one specific thing. If it were, you'd point that out to me from a statistical analysis. At the end of the day, we haven't gotten across the goal line well enough. We're going to fight our ass off to do a better job with that every week.
Coach, straight back.
Hey, Mark.
I know you want to win the game. What do you think your team proved to people watching today?
Well, we came up short. We lost a game. We go out to win every week. We didn't win a game, so I like the way we fought and all that, but I'm really not into those type of victories, those moral victories. Moral victories don't count at the end of the season. At the end of the season, it's a win or a loss, and we didn't get it done. We came up short, and that's on me. We got to find a way to get it done next week.
Hey, Scott, just first, you mentioned Austin had a headache. Does he have a concussion?
He has an upper body injury, Stephen. Next question.
I wanted to ask you about how you thought Tim did in the headset.
I thought Tim and the offensive staff did a great job, as I already mentioned. United, like I knew they would, unselfishly, like I knew they would. I've known these guys for years, and they came together and they worked their tails off to have a great game plan. I thought they did have a really good game plan, and I thought the tempo was good. And I thought as an offensive staff, getting their players to play for the first time with a couple of those young kids, with some older guys that have been around, I thought they did a very good job with that. Obviously, we didn't score enough points in the red zone.
How does Seattle's run game improve today, and how do you think AJ's ability to run helped that?
I thought Tyson Gully ran the ball well. I haven't seen a stat sheet, but I thought that he ran the ball well. I thought our kids up front blocked well and had some good push and some good movement. We almost, we had some opportunities to have some even bigger gashes up in there where I saw us knocking the #1 team in the country back extremely well. There wasn't a point in time in the game that I felt like their front four got after us in a systemic way. I felt like our kids continued to really fight physically on both sides of the football. 83 yards for Prince. We ended up with 162 rushing, it looks like, so that's a pretty good day. And I think AJ brought some things to the table with his ability to move his feet.
Good to see you, Coach.
Hi, Nick.
I know you mentioned it.
Ho, ho.
You okay?
Okay.
Okay,
Sounded like Mike.
good. You mentioned obviously no more victories, but the positives that you take in this game, how does that carry over into this week of work and obviously next week at Wake Forest?
Well, and you always take the positives and you accentuate those and try to go to work on them. It's hard as a coach and a competitive person, as a player, for our kids to, feel good about it, isn't it, Wig? You don't feel good about it when you lose. You feel horrible, and so we're going to try to, once we get to the tape and we get through a Sunday meeting where we're all beating ourselves up, then you move forward and you say, you know what, this was pretty good, this was pretty good, this is pretty good. And then you go after those things hard and make them better the next week.
You stayed even with Florida State in the second half, 14-14. What do you think you were able to do better in the second half? Is there something that you changed at halftime to step up?
There were a few wrinkles. I thought the offense made a couple little adjustments that were good. More than anything, we stayed with what we thought we could do, and they did. They continued. The consistency level got better in the second half. A couple of situations where we felt like we were just half a block away from splitting a bigger run. So it was good to see that, but really it was just staying true to what we thought we could do, and it was proven to be the case in a lot of those game planning type schematic things that we looked at. And then defensively, they got us on a couple really athletic plays on the jailbreak screen. That kid's a pretty, he made, he's a pretty good player, hell of an athlete. I thought we were going to get him here, going to get him there, and good players, just like their quarterback. We had some good stuff. I thought Coach Bola had some really good calls, and the kids were coming through clean and free. And then, that quarterback does a nice job making plays go a little bit longer than you're used to, and they make it hard on those kids back on the back end. But we're going to take the positives, build from them, and put together a great plan for Wake Forest.
Couple more questions, David.
Coach, where do you rate this offensive performance among the 4 straight losses?
Well, I can't do that. I really can't. I got to go watch the film, and just the only rating that we're looking for is increased productivity and improvement that you can truly measure. Whether it's maintaining blocks better or being in tempo with our throws. Sometimes they're incomplete passes that you could say, okay, that was better. We were in rhythm. All we're going to try to do is to get a little bit better in each one of those small targeted points that we look at each week, from individuals to positional groups, and then obviously offense and defense and kicking game.
Scott, you coming in, their offensive line was pretty good.
Yeah.
How do you like your development on the defensive line throughout the year?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. You know, there was some good puncturing going on by our kids. You know, when we lost Jason Bromley last year, there was great concern there. But I think those kids, as a unit, have played real well, and I think they've really fought to learn how to play the game the way Coach Doust asked them to. You know, and I saw some good things out of Micah today too. I got the worst seat in the house to see offense and defensive line play till you watch it after the game. But I saw some good things, and I love the way Micah just competes, and he kind of is a leader in that room. You know, when Crumey was out, you know, we asked those other tackles, Johnny Raymond, to get more reps, and I know John was playing high at times, but then I saw some good puncture in there with him. So it just goes back to what we always talk about, that next teammate stepping up to the plate and saying we're counting on you. And, you know, nobody cares that we had a dozen injuries going into this game. Nobody cares about that, so we got to move forward and find the next guy to step up and bring the team along. And that's what our kids have done a good job of. It's never as good as we want it to be, but I do like the way we're fighting. Guys like Michael Robinson pulling guys along by the way he talks to them in the room and in the locker room. So I've been pleased with the brotherhood of some of those things, and that showed up, you know, on tape at times today. I thought we played at times up front nose to nose with them. You know, they got a couple runs, a couple missed tackles. You know, the better teams, the better athletes you play, you always have a few more missed tackles, and hats off to those kids at Florida State and that ability level that they have, and their coaches do a great job with them.
Last question.
Defensively, you really brought out the missed opportunities in the pass game, but what about those screen passes that went for long yards and the fact that tackling really wasn't up to par for the defense?
Yeah, you just answered it the way I would have. Well, good. Thank you.